Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is all about the fuel generators. And I will tell you guys, it's really simple. It's really simple to build these fuel generators that gonna produce power for you. So I'm gonna explain you in a simple way, so you don't need to go a lot of videos to understand. So let's start with the fuel. This is a crude oil. This is a crude oil which is I'm building on the normal state. So what I did, I just put one oil extractor on it, this one oil extractor, and I connected this pipe to my refineries. Okay, you see this crude oil pipeline is going all the way into my refineries. So what you need, oil you need to find in the base. Just scan through your scanner, find the oil, put one oil extractor on top of it, connect the pipeline to the refineries, and this is your refineries. Okay, this is your refineries. So that's the crude oil coming in. So I make it like a T junction over here. So this is my first refinery and this is my second refinery. Okay, what you have to do is just connect the crude oil line to the input of the refineries. Okay, and the second crude oil goes to the second refinery's input. Okay, you can see that we are getting a 60 crude oil per minute, and there is a recipe which you need to select. Go in a fuel recipe that comes with a 4 meter cube fuel, 3 polymer resin. So once you select this recipe, you're gonna get a crude oil in, and it's gonna produce fuel and the polymer resin. The important thing about this build is that the technique you need to understand, and the technique is, you see, I'm gonna take you to the output of this refinery. You see, in the output side, that was the input that you're giving your crude oil in, and you're connecting your refinery with the power line. That's very important. Once you connect with the power line and you assign a recipe to the refinery, is gonna, because you're already having crude oil input and the recipe selected, this will convert this crude oil into the fuel and the polymer resin, and this is the output which is coming out as a fuel. We're getting fuel on this line, and that's the conveyor output which producing the polymer resin. You see this polymer resin coming out of the both refineries. What you have to do, you have to keep producing these polymer resins. How you can do that? I have just built one merger over here which takes these two conveyors coming out of this refineries, go inside this one merger. This merger merge the both line and gives one output from this side. So now the both polymer resin conveyors, polymer resin getting added and going through this final conveyor which goes to my another merger and to the main conveyor line which goes into my base and is connected with the awesome sink. So what's happening here, I'm keep producing polymer resin and the fuel, because if one of the things stop, if I disconnect the conveyor right now, if the polymer resins doesn't produce, like if it got stuck in, it's gonna stop producing fuel as well as. Okay, so what you have to do, just continue producing the polymer resin, and you can like throw them into the awesome sink, or you can have a storage in the end, like a big stack of storage. But once the storage is gonna be full, these conveyors, because this refinery is gonna keep producing polymer resins, and once the conveyor belt is getting full, there will be no space to go out for this polymer resin. So what you gotta do is just connect this output of the refineries to the conveyor belt, and this conveyor should go into your awesome sink or somewhere where you can utilize the polymer resin as constant as possible. You cannot stack, because if you stack this polymer resin and it doesn't produce more, it's gonna stop producing fuel, and we need this fuel for the fuel generators, right? So now you find out what to do with the polymer resin, the excessive polymer resin, and you have to keep producing, and you need to make a flow out of it. So this line I did not connect because I built the 2 fuel generator, and the 1 fuel line is enough to run both of them. So just don't worry about this line over here. Okay, I'm just gonna disconnect that. Okay, now this fuel line directly goes into your fuel generator. There's no funny in it, there's no difficult tactics over here. Just put 2 fuel generators, take this fuel line, connect into your fuel generator. Important part is that your fuel generator must be connected with the power line. You see, I have connected both of them with my main power grid. This main power grid is kind of giving them supply and getting the output, which is 150 megawatt, and it goes back to your main grid. So now you're getting 150 plus 150, 300 megawatts out of this fuel generator, and maybe the consumption is very less. So you're getting more powers running this generator into your grid, right? So guys, this is very simple. I'm gonna give you again a brief intro about this one. You gotta find the fuel through your scanner, put the oil extractor in. This gonna produce crude oil, which is gonna come here and to the side of the input of the refineries. Once it goes in, you have to select the recipe, which is fuel recipe, which produce fuel and the polymer resin. You need to figure out what to do with the excessive polymer resin, which I told you. Let's connect 2 conveyor belts and connect that into the merger, and that gives this line awesome sync. Just, or you can just directly connect this both to the in 2 awesome syncs if you want, and in that situation you will get coupons while you're producing fuel. The outline, it's very simple. Just take directly into your fuel generators and just connect the fuel generators to the main power plant. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have any doubts, any comments, just please leave a comments and like to support this video. See you guys. Have a good